And a shout to Tom at Zebo TV. They're checking us out this morning. I owe you a commercial. I will get it to you this afternoon. And the Rams are playing the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, God.
Mm.
They get the no, I take that back. They get the Browns next, and then they go to Baltimore. Then they go to Washington and play the Redskins, then the Saints, then the Giants, and then they come see us at Levi's. So we are their last NFC West game. But it ain't going to matter because they're going to lose to all the teams in front of them, including Washington. Back to business. Entering week 13, the 49ers stand 8-3 and 3-0 in the division. Damn.
Well, that's when we get the first leg out of the way is win your division.
And they're going to win that division within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
However, this Sunday presents a mega challenge for San Francisco as they go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles, who are 10-1 and the first team to clinch a playoff berth. Damn.
They're probably going to be the conference champs again.
I would be mad if were it not for the fact that I also love the Eagles, which I do.
They're probably going to be the number 1 seed for the conference again.
Yeah, because the Niners trail that by 2 games. And the Niners now have a 2-game lead in the division, and they have ensured they will not lose either a head-to-head or division record tiebreaker to the Seahawks because they're 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
We get the Seahawks in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Now I have a question.
Okay.
And it goes like this. Will people ever stop giving ish to Brock Purdy?
Nope.
No? Why?
Nope. Because they're going to look at this and say, well, this was an easy season. They're going to look at this season and they're going to say this is an easy season. You had the Seahawks, which are trash. You had the Cowboys, which are not that great. You had the Cardinals. The only team they're going to only look at one team as like actual competition for the Niners, and that's Philly.
And we see them Sunday.
They're not going to give the Browns any type of credit, and the Browns won.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
They'll also look at the fact that you guys had a 3-game skid.
Mm-hmm. And that's what everybody is looking at, except Philadelphia, because Philadelphia's been through that ish before.
Exactly. They're going to look at Brock Purdy from the same viewpoint that they look at Dak. And it's like, well, what competition has he faced? What real contenders has he faced?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's how they're looking at it right now. And it's sad because the man has stepped up the pressure. He had adversity and he came back smelling like a rose. Came back off of concussion protocol and had a perfect game. What more do you need?
This Sunday will test everything, and I know it will test. I know it will test everything because I call this coming Sunday's game in Philadelphia a prelude to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, and it very well could be.
It'll be a prelude to the NFC Championship, no matter who wins that game.
Okay, let's look at the champions right quick. Let's look at the leaders of the division.
Mm-hmm.
NFC South's going nowhere. Whoever wins that division is going absolutely nowhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, they've gotten better, but I think there's a few pieces they're going to need before they can actually start contending for championships.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten better. You got the Niners in the West. You got the Eagles in the East. Those are guys are going to be champions of their particular divisions.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever gets the wild card spot, which will probably be the Cowboys.
I don't think the Cowboys will get there.
I think they'll get there, but by a very slim margin.
I think they're about to tank. I said what I said.
I don't think so. It's because there's a lot of garbage teams in the NFC. Like, who do you think they're going to lose to?
Everybody.
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. They've already swept the Giants. They got one game over the Redskins. Only team in their own division they haven't beaten is the Eagles.
These next 4 games will determine the Cowboys' season.
I agree.
See,
that absolutely agree.
Come to Dallas. We're Thursday night.
We're beating them. We should beat them.
More on that later. Then the Eagles come to Dallas on December 10th.
We'll probably lose that game.
Then you go to Buffalo.
We should win that game.
And then you go to Miami.
Ooh, that's gonna be nasty.
And that's Christmas Eve.
That's gonna be nasty.
And the 5th game in that stretch is Detroit.
Yeah, we'll probably lose that game too, because Detroit has become a nightmare for most teams.
And Detroit is pissed off after Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, for the 49ers, we see the Eagles on Sunday.
Right.
And I'm calling that game. Then we beat the hell out of the Seahawks and clinch the division.
Finish them off.
Beat the hell out of the Cardinals.
Finish that off.
And then Christmas night, the dangerous Baltimore Ravens come see us in Levi's.
Ooh, that's gonna be nasty.
I might have to tell somebody. I might have to tell somebody, somebody have to take my daughter to work because I want to do that game badly. But I can't. I can't. For the reason it's an 8:15 kickoff, and I have to leave at 10:30.
Right.
And I hate doing an incomplete game. I've had too many of them this past year already. Well, back to business. The Niners control the NFC West, period.
Yeah.
The Niners have controlled the NFC West, period. The Niners will not lose another game in the NFC West this year, period, which will give them 14 in a row within the division. Their toughest competition comes outside the division, and it starts Sunday with Philadelphia. And then, as I said, Christmas night with Baltimore.
Yeah. And CSTV agrees with you, man. He believes that the 49ers' next Hall of Fame QB
is Brock Purdy. Matter of fact, let me do this snowman style. Get off of Brock Purdy, will you please? What more can the guy do besides win a championship? And I'm going to say something that a lot of people won't like. He is close to winning one, maybe multiple. I mean, the guy came off of a concussion, played against Cincinnati. He took accountability for those 3 losses. Very few quarterbacks in the league take accountability for losses. Zach Wilson, hello. Russell Wilson, hello. And while I'm going there, Josh Allen, hello.
Might as well throw Justin in there too.
I got a whole thing for
whether you are a professional football champion or a fantasy football champion, Martusio Chiropractic is the place to recover from all your sports injuries. Proudly serving Trumbull County, Martusio Chiropractic is located at 369 Niles Cortland Road in Warren. Martusio Chiropractic accepts most insurance plans, now accepting new patients and offering some same-day appointments. For more information or to make an appointment, call Martusio Chiropractic at 330-856-9595.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part.
It's that time again when all we want to talk about is football. High school, college, and pro football. There's one man set to bring it all to you. It's time for Just Football with Matt Emch. Matt was a first-time AP, all-offensive lineman with the Ursuline Irish, and three-time national champion with Youngstown State. And now, here's Matt.
And welcome to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. Welcome back, everybody. Another week, getting close to Christmas, everybody. Not everybody enjoys this time of the year, unfortunately. I know there's a lot of responsibilities and things that we have to take care of. Get that tree up. You know, we have our trees up, but to the non-happiness of my wife, Stacy, they really aren't, they don't have too many ornaments on them yet. So we have multiple trees in our home. The one in my back room, my man cave, so to speak, there is a tree that it's our family tree, you know, but it's mine and it's catered to my stuff. So it is covered in superheroes, football, and there's going to be some extra stuff this year. I have some really cool things like some Bigfoot and Dogmen type of cryptid stuff that's going to be hanging from there. Speaking of which, we have some new sponsors here on Just Football with Matt Emch. Very proud to announce, starting off with a couple YouTube channels, one which is absolutely positively cream of the crop, one of the biggest there is in the world, definitely on YouTube, called What Lurks Beneath by Dominic Joshua Ninocchio. If you guys are into the paranormal and to high strangeness, like cryptids and ghosts and UFOs and just, like the missing 411 David Paulides, it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. Check out What Lurks Beneath. It is incredible. Then we have Cryptid Creatures, which is another podcast. You can find them on YouTube and a lot of others, more so on things like Spotify and Apple and other things like that. Todd Erie and Brian Brock, they're good friends of mine. In fact, if whoever doesn't know him, Brian Brock is one of the co-hosts, best friend of Todd Erie. The other one, he just had emergency open heart surgery recently within the last few days. And he's, thank God, going to make it. And he's doing all right. But anyone knows open heart surgery is no joke. And so even if you don't know him, I would ask anybody listening, please just say a little prayer for Brian Brock of the podcast Cryptid Creatures. He's a good man and a good father, and he deserves some prayers. And then Joe Eckenrode from the Niles Belleria Pizza is also one of our new sponsors. So I wanted to thank all three of them for jumping on with Just Football with Matt Emch here at Western Reserve Radio and iMedia. Also, one of our newer, they're not a sponsor, I'm sorry, they're simulcasting Just Football with Matt Emch. It is 12 Ounce Sports. They are an internet radio station, and their moniker is Quench Your Sports Thirst. So check them out. We really appreciate what they're doing. Any minute, we're going to have a call from a local legend in the area, a coach that will be no surprise to anyone who he is. I'm just going to save it for when he calls. It'll be any minute, and I think everyone's going to get a kick out of it. We're just going to go immediately to the phone lines, and we are going to welcome Coach Mike Pavlansky of the Canfield Cardinals. Coach, how are you, sir?
Doing great, Matt. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Oh my God, no, thank you. It's an absolute honor. Now, I've had an honor for years. This was my 17th year in broadcasting, but my 12th or 13th calling high school football games. And, it is just, it's a double-edged sword. I'm so happy for you. Everybody, I'm sure you remember Coach Pav last year coaching the Canfield Cardinals, won the Division III OHSAA state championship. They just went through everybody and won that championship. But the double-edged sword part of it is Coach Pavlansky is now going to retire. And, it's sad to see you go, sir, but I just wanted to congratulate you on such an amazing, career.
I appreciate that, Matt. Yeah, it's just time. There's nothing else behind it. Everything's good. Health is good. Family's good. It's just, it was just time, after 41 years and doing something you have a passion for and a love for. And, like we talked to our team in the morning, I told them about a week ago, and that, our lives are broken up to different seasons. And each season the sun's going to set, and you're going to wake up the next day and figure out what comes next. And, the season of my coaching career has set, and, waking up tomorrow, and I'm going to try and figure out what's next in my life.
Well, I mean, that's a beautiful thing that you, number one, I'm very happy that there was nothing negative connected to it. I mean, my goodness, how could there be? Secondly, again, it is just, I had the honor for many years getting to call a number of Canfield Cardinal football games, and it was always you. And such an amazing career, Coach.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I didn't get to talk to you last year. I had alluded to in the message. Unfortunately, I've gone through some health issues over the last couple of years, and I missed that time. So, I just wanted to officially on the air just congratulate you on that state championship.
Matt. It means a lot. It really does. And, the people of Canfield have been good to me and my family for 27 years, 23 as the head coach. And, there's nothing negative about what's happening right now in Canfield. And, certainly looking forward to, the next chapter for those guys too, because I'll always be a Canfield Cardinal.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, are you planning on in any way, shape, or form still having a connection to the team?
Well, again, that's just too early. Just trying to figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing. I would hope to stay in touch with the team, but I'm certainly not going to be there on a daily basis or a weekly basis or anything like that. Anything they need, they know to reach out to me. I've made that plain and clear, and they've got my number. They can text or call. And right now in the interim, the administration has been gracious to allow me to continue weightlifting with our guys and college recruiting with our guys, until the new head coach's name.
That's awesome. And I mean, what bad could come out of that? I'm sure, I'm sure that was very bittersweet for them. I mean, they are obviously, they love their school. They're proud to be Canfield Cardinals, but a lot of those kids, I'm sure they could go to other schools to play, and they're coming not only because you set the standard at Canfield, but they were coming there to play with you. Can I ask you if you could send out a message to all of the players that you've coached over the years, and you just wanted to send something out to all of them, what would you say to them?
Well, certainly thank you's not enough. That's for sure. But we don't have enough time, and I certainly don't have the vocabulary, to put out there exactly what those young men have meant to me in my career, and the number of people that I've been fortunate to be around, and not just players, but certainly our assistant coaches, administrators, and but for our players, it was always um, staying in touch and watching them go on, whether they went and played college football or not, or went to college or not, or got a job or not. And, now, catching up with them, when they've got their professional career started and their family started. And, those are the neat things. Certainly football during their high school career is important. But what happens after is what, I look forward to seeing. Last year we had our 23 reunion of the 2002 team. That was the first 10-0 team in school history, and went 2 rounds deep in the playoffs. And we had a great night on alumni night, and went out and had a sandwich afterwards with those guys, and just talked about where they're at in their lives and their families, and and certainly rehashed some of the games that they remembered. But just catching up with them is a neat deal.
Talking about what happened last year, could you just real quick, I know it was last season and you've been asked a billion times, questions about the state championship, but reflecting on, how all of your career working up to that game and winning it all. Could you just real quick comment on that?
Yeah, obviously it was a special game, special day. People that I talked to that have won state championships before, said you'll never forget anything about that day. Somebody can say December 2nd, 2022, 10:30 in the morning. Where were you? And unbelievably, exactly what you were doing. And for 10:30 for us, it was our team meeting before we jumped on the bus at 11 o'clock to go to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. And our guys played the best game of the year. They had to. To win a state title, but it was a special day for not only our team but certainly our school and community. And we were just fortunate to play well and end up winning the state title.
And it was incredible, and we were all so proud, and I was so proud to be able to see you guys win that, and to because you and I are friends, and I appreciated just being able to see that. And you guys knocked off my alma mater, Ursuline, and I'm gonna be honest, I might get some people that don't like me saying this, but when you beat them, I really truly mean this, Coach. I was so happy for you. And and when you won it all, of course, just overjoyed and screamed as loud as if I had went there.
Yeah.
Reflecting, you're welcome, sir. Of course. And again, it's always an honor to speak with you. Reflecting on the entire career, it's so hard to just, like you said before, you could go on for hours. If you could just, just make a small little, comment about looking back from when you first started all the way till now, till you decided to go off into the sunset and retire from coaching. What are your thoughts on that?
Just how fortunate I've been. How blessed I've been to be around a number of tremendous people, coaches, administrators, and certainly players for 41 years. Starting at my alma mater at Poland as a freshman coach, and then headed off to the University of Kansas as a graduate assistant, to Lisbon High School, to Menor High School, and then the majority of my time obviously was spent at Canfield. I've truly been blessed. I've done something, for my professional career that I truly had a passion for, and I loved, doing it, and helping young people in any way I could. And then, combine that with a 36-year teaching career. Again, a lot of people don't come out of the other side their professional careers healthy and they're able to enjoy retirement, hopefully I'll be able to enjoy a long, healthy retirement.
And I hope you do as well. You mentioned Poland. We cannot not mention your brother, who is the head coach of the Poland Bulldogs, and what a great season they had. He spent
Absolutely.
many years at Lakeview High School, in Cortland, coaching them, the Bulldogs there. And here he is with the Poland Bulldogs. Can you comment? You had a game this year against your brother. What has it been like for years to have your brother coaching, right in the same area, sometimes against each other? What has that been like for you?
Yeah, we're again fortunate because our families can get together, and not only Tom being at Poland, but Dave being at Boardman, and our brother Pat being at Canfield with us. We just been real fortunate that way. But to speak to Tom, the toughest one was 2 years, or really 3 years ago now, in 2021, the first time we played. It was the first time the two schools have played in football in 3 years, due to certain circumstances, and that was his first ball game as the head coach of Poland. And obviously with our dad, coaching Poland for 10 years and having that field named after him was certainly emotional for both of us.
Oh, yeah.
But we've said this since day one when Tom got the job. The Poland Canfield game's bigger than any one person, any name on the field. And Tom and I, we weren't coaching against each other. We were trying to do the best we could for our team. Never once, and I think Tom would say the same thing, never once during the game for 3 years did I look across the field and think, okay, that's Tom over there. What's he going to do? We had to beat their kids. We had to put our kids in the best situations to be successful against the Poland kids on the field. And, I think we've done that. And, now I know moving forward, that ball game is going to be a little bit easier, for our brothers and sisters and our mom, not with me not being on the sideline.
Obviously a very special bunch, this being your last group of players that you will ever coach at Canfield. Looking at specifically the group of seniors, can you just give us a quick comment on this group of seniors you had this year?
Tremendous senior class. They did something in Canfield history nobody ever did, and that was follow a state championship team. And people, their expectations probably weren't very high of this senior class, but those guys didn't care. The Danny Inglis's, Santino Cocas, Vince Luce's, Anthony Mazzello's, I could go down the list. They didn't care what other people's expectations were coming into this year. They didn't flinch. From the weight room time in January to the end of the season, they continued to get better, give their best effort every Friday night, no matter what the outcome was. And, certainly there's a lot of people that were saying, I told you so, when we were sitting at 1-3 after the first month of the season. But again, our seniors, just so proud of them that they didn't quit and led our juniors and sophomores and, told them just hang in there. Things are going to turn around, and they certainly did. And we got on a six-game winning streak. And unfortunately, a couple play or two short against a really good Ursuline team that ended our season.
It was phenomenal to watch you guys. Real quick, I just wanted to go over this. Obviously last year, again, the OHSAA Division III state championships, 13 trips to the OHSAA playoffs. Your record all time 211-98, went 183-76 at the Canfield Cardinals. Coach, just absolutely incredible. Sir, it has been such an honor over the years to be able to call games for you. And I want to thank you for calling in today, sir.
You're welcome, Matt. Any way we can help out, please let us know.
All right, sir. You have a good night. Thank you again. Coach Pavlansky, legend, will not have any issues getting in the OHSAA coach, greatest of all time, in the Hall of Fame. We'll see you back in a second, everybody.
Cryptid Creatures. Find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Hi, it's Brian. Join me and my co-host Todd as we investigate those things that go bump in the night. We'll talk to real people who have had real face-to-face encounters.
There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks.
With cryptid beings, from Bigfoot to aliens to even demons. By the end, you'll be asking, do I believe? Cryptid creatures.
Find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you tired of settling for mediocre wings at sky-high prices? Belleria Niles has some of the best wing prices in Trumbull County, with 12 wings for $10 with over 15 flavors to choose from. Mention this show, Just Football with Matt Emch, with your order and receive a free cheese puff until January 31st. Belleria at 602 Robbins Avenue, Niles, Ohio. 330-544-FOOD. That's 330-544-FOOD. Belleria, we sell taste one bite at a time.
Do you crave mysteries? Are you fascinated by the unexplained? Then summon your courage and plunge into the deep, dark abyss of what lurks beneath. A YouTube channel that dives into the unexplained, the supernatural, eyewitness reports, and more. The real question is, can you handle the truth? Simply search What Lurks Beneath on YouTube, if you think you're brave enough.
From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
And welcome back to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. We are going to go right back to the phone lines, and who we're going to bring in is a great defensive coordinator, good friend of mine, Coach Chet Allen of the Mineral Ridge Rams. How you doing tonight, Coach? We're good. Hold on one second. I don't know why we are not coming up here on. We might have got disconnected from. All right. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Great. We got you, buddy. Thanks for being here. And we have Coach Allen of the Mineral Ridge Rams. And, you know, I want to touch on real quick for everybody, you know, what an amazing season. You guys making it to the third round of the OHSAA Division 6 playoffs. You know, can you reflect on the season that you guys had?
I mean, we got everything out of the kids that we possibly could. I mean, we stretched everything out of them. It was like we said from the beginning. It was every man gets a chance. You get a chance to make the most of it. And when you're done, you're done. And you know, just give everything you got. We'll throw somebody else in. We were really lucky that we were able to go to camp this year to Walsh, and got to get all the young kids reps as much as our number ones. I mean, they knew the same stuff that the ones did. We're coached the same way, so we got a lot of depth out of our guys. And we faced some adversity early. We lost some guys in the first couple of weeks, but it showed real resilience of our kids and our community that we're just going to fight back. We're going to take little chomps as we can, get back into the game, and once we're all together, once we're all back and healthy, watch out for us. And it was huge for the program to get to week 11 again and finally win one. Get to a week 12 that they've never been to and win it. To get to a week 13 and be so close as we were against a formidable program that Mogador is. It was great to see and show the kids that if you put in the hard work and you listen and do, everything's going to work out pretty darn good for us. So it was a great season, great ride, great fun. Can't wait to do it again.
You know what? It was an honor for me. Obviously the first time for me in my broadcasting career to call a season for Mineral. In fact, I had called some individual Mineral Ridge games here and there over the years, but I chose to be when I sat down with Jim Craven, the owner of Western Reserve Radio, that he talked to me. I had been out of radio for a couple of years because of health issues, and he said, well, Matt, are you going to do your alma mater again, Ursuline, this year and this and that? I said, no. I have of a different color flowing through. So I have multiple colors of blood flowing through my body. Obviously, green and gold from Ursuline. I have the black, the red, and the white from being a Penguin for Jim Tressel at YSU. But it was kind of odd, Chet. You know, I cut my arm real bad one day, and I saw those regular colors, but there was this new set of colors. There was black and orange, and I was like, holy cow, you know, this made me realize I am a Ram as well. My daughter Amira is a freshman there. She's the first featured twirler there in almost 35 years. And there was no question for me, buddy, that number one, you know, I don't want to miss her doing her thing. So if I'm going to be calling games, I want to call games where she is. And what an amazing decision. I was so honored. I cannot tell you how honored that I was with my new partner, Matt Lipsack, who's the voice of the Youngstown Phantoms, to be able to call games for you guys. What an amazing area. What an amazing school. The love. They are just a fabulous a group of people. Your coaching staff, and I truly mean this, I don't blow smoke. I don't say things that I don't believe or I don't mean. It does no one any good. I'm going to tell you this. You don't have to reply. I know you're a humble man. You guys have one of the best coaching staffs, in my opinion, in the state of Ohio. You have two guys, you know, Brian Shaner, the head coach. You were the head coach for many years at Liberty. I called a lot of your games. And, you know, I cannot tell you how impressed I have been with your program, and I look forward to calling games for many more years. Looking at this group of kids, because we were shocked at the amount of freshmen and sophomores that stepped up, next man up, and not only filled gaps, but played phenomenally.
Contributed, played. Yes, I mean they had to.
Yeah,
I mean it's and it was not a question. You know, are we going to play this kid? Or are we going to play? Honestly, I really do believe that Brian and I share the same thoughts of we don't see grades. We just see effort. We see ability. And we see if the kid's being coachable and is going to do what we ask him to do. We don't care what grade he is. I mean, obviously, if there's a senior and a sophomore, a senior and a freshman that are on the same level, we're probably going to lean toward that younger guy, you know, just because the time's kind of up for the senior. If he's playing at a sophomore freshman level, then you're getting passed. But if the senior or even a junior is playing above where he should be, then he's playing unless that freshman or sophomore is, you know, and just outstanding, then they're going to get in. I mean, we've got a lot of guys on both sides. They're going to be seeing a lot of football in the next couple of years. I mean, we got a couple on the defense that have been there at least the 2 years that I've been there, and they were young when I got there. So there's a lot of snaps getting played, and that's all we ask these guys. I mean, don't you want to? That's why you're out here. You're not out here for us to babysit you. You're out here to play football, and you should want to be out here for every down. I mean, that's why we played the game. We put us in for anything. You want to put us in? You're going to be on offense. You're going to be on defense. You're going to be on a special team. You got as many special. I don't want to get off the field. Good, cart me off, wheel me off. That's how these guys. That's what we're trying to build with these guys. And you know what? The younger groups, these freshmen from last year, they were winners. They're bringing the winning back into it. You know, the sophomores that are going to be juniors, they had to learn, or they're getting passed. That's these freshmen are coming for you. So you better step up their game, or you're getting passed. That's okay. We need practice players. That's all right. Then you better get better there.
I agree. And, you know, we were just blown away. Having my history in just playing and coaching, not just doing broadcasting, I truly was just so impressed. I mean, you have, you know, some players like, you know, Preston Holbrook on defense, and he played very well on offense, but one of the best, and in my opinion, linebackers in the Tri-County area. Oh, and by the way, he's a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah, and then you have that other side of the line. Now that right side of the line, you have Zach Stacy, 4-year letter winner, captain, won the Beast Award, one of I believe, let me think, 4 or 5 guys that have won that award over the years. He won that. He deserved it. He got a bunch of other awards, but the most important part of that, 4-year starter, a leader, busted his butt. And then you also have another sophomore, Chase Moore.
We're losing one over there. That's it.
Chase Moore.
One.
Yeah, Chase Moore.
And
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now you want to talk about,
fought against injury, broken thumb, or did something with his hand, had a week of concussion protocol. I mean, fought back, and then on the other side, like you're saying, we had 2 freshmen.
Derek Rakic was just phenomenal at tackle.
And you know what? We sit around the office, we'll talk about it. We're like, we got 2 freshmen starting. Great. Let's go play, man. Let's go play. I mean, that's all we can do. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have that many. No, we do. It's a we. We all do. We're going to do what we got to do to get the wins. And these guys are going to do what they're coached to do, and they're listening and they're doing. That's a huge thing that we preach is listen and do. We don't your thoughts, not that they don't matter, but when we cross on them white lines, listen to what we're coaching you to do what we're coaching you to do, execute that plan, and everything will be fine. Give your greatest effort you can. That's really only thing we ask for. Give us your greatest effort and do what you're coached to do. And it showed.
And it really did. And again, like you had said, and so many other people, and I, with my partner, Matt Lepsack, again, we kept talking about, it wasn't just guys were short. We got to stick these young guys, and man, we're in trouble. These guys played and they busted their asses and they looked great. You mentioned real quick that freshman group that I got to watch. My daughter Amira's first year as an 8th grader involved in doing. She was a cheerleader for that 8th grade team. They were undefeated. The only team that they didn't lose. They just tied with Springfield, one of the best programs, coaching staffs in the state of Ohio, in a close game. They basically had that game won. Those guys, this freshman group, and I've seen some of these kids at some of these basketball games I've been going to. They're already hitting the weight room and looking bigger. Can you talk to us about this, the weight program, and about what's going on with that right now?
Oh, I mean, as soon as we were done with the banquet, Coach Rob, our strength guy, guru that he thinks he is, and he knows the stuff. He's been around the weight room a couple of times. He opened it up, said open lifts. Guys want to be there. Guys don't want it. Guys don't want to get. And we tell the guys all the time. And this was always a huge obstacle. Whatever school I'd been in, is if you ask a kid after a football season to lift before basketball, if he's a basketball kid, or even baseball, because now everybody's jumping in, got to have their season's got to start early. It's like the weight room's open if anybody wants to lift, and it's like, but you want to play football? No, not unless you want to. Would love for you to play, but how about if you lift and you just do enough, just to tone, just to maintain, just to rebuild a little bit, maybe, for basketball. So you're not getting pushed around on the low post. So you're not getting pushed around through picks. So you can fight for a rebound. So you can run faster, jump higher, pass the ball quicker and harder. That's what we want you to lift for, because we're in the infant stages of wrestling. So when that starts picking up, hopefully in the next couple of years, that's what you're lifting for that then. And we did a pretty decent job of lifting during the season, because it's kind of hard with with film and school and practice and everything else to get a quick lift in, but just to maintain, just to build. Well, that's what these guys are doing now. Coach Rob's not doing too heavy. They're doing things. They're in the weight room. They're together. That's one of the bigger things. Keep these guys together. And then when they're done for that hour, hour and a half, if that's as long as they're in there for, go to practice. We're not gonna like Matt. You know, you're a college athlete. There was never basketball players never lifted. Baseball players never lifted. These pro athletes don't lift. I mean, how many times us growing up, if you weren't playing on a Saturday, you're watching a college football game, and we hear Keith Jackson say, "Oh yeah, the most favorite thing he likes to do after a game is go to the weight room and get a lift in." Like,
Love
who
it.
would want to do that after a game? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what makes it special.
Right.
So these guys have been getting in there. These guys have been doing it. They've been, running a circuit, a program that Coach Rob has going for them, and it's good to finally be able to go in there and give a rah and say, "Hey, you're doing a good job," instead of having to be the guy that's running the weight room. That's kind of fun where it is in my career right now, that I could go in there and just be, "Oh, look at you, man." Hey, I love when the kids do the weights and their arms change.
Yep.
Or their backs change, or their legs are getting stronger. You see it, you see the muscles in their legs. Like, man, your body's changing. And they're like, "Yeah, I know." That's one good thing we don't have at Ridge. We don't have those mirrors in the weight room. Thank God.
Love it.
I hate the mirrors in the weight room. No, and those kids, when the bodies change, they love it. Then you could see that the switch has been flipped, and they don't want to be there all the time. They're just in there now, just maintaining, rebuilding, until the actual program starts in January, and we're in there and we're on them. Then it'll be a little bit different, and but these are the guys that were there last year. These are the guys that were in there. We're going to lose 9 seniors. It's going to be hard to replace, but
right,
they've laid the foundation. These young bucks coming up, they know what it's about, and they're teaching the younger bucks. So we're heading in the right direction. We went 11 games last year, go 13 this year. We'll see what happens next year.
I think I know there are even bigger things on the horizon for the Mineral Ridge Rams, and anybody that's a Rams fan, and even if you're not, get used to hearing about the Rams winning and being in the playoffs. I heard from the powers that be some comments I loved, that even when it was not mandatory, as soon as that season ended, guys in the weight room, that's how it's done. That's how they win. A lot of people talk about Kirtland, about one of the best programs in the country, in my opinion, in high school. The day after they won the state championship, they were lifting.
Yeah. That's been for years.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
And every time I see Tiger down in Columbus, when we go down for the Columbus Clinic in February, every time I see him, I laugh at him. I go, how do you do it, man? Because I know what it is. He goes, I just leave it open. There's either there's a coach there, or I live 2 minutes away. I go and open it up and say it's going to be here from 10 to 12. They come in, they do the program that's on the board. They get a bag of chips and a Mountain Dew and they go home.
Love it. And that's how champions are made.
We do that.
And I know you guys do. And I'm hearing so many comparisons to things that I saw when I was at Ursuline, when I was at Youngstown State with Jim Tressel, when we went to 4 straight national championships. I'm hearing similarities of things going through your program. Winning really lights fires. It gives kids so much confidence. But, one of the things that I was always taught, we were taught at YSU, we had some tough losses here and there. And one thing Coach Tressel and his staff did was, they really, they of course made sure that we learned from the games that we win, but the games that we lost, they really stressed and made a point that you can learn more from losing than you can from winning. And I know from looking at those kids' eyes and them getting the taste of what they can do and how possible it is for the Rams program to go all the way. And that's why I keep saying, everybody get used to hearing the Rams names being said. There's going to be a lot of winning coming up. It's super exciting. I love it. Real quick before we go to the BCS playoff, I just wanted to get your opinion real quick. What we're going to do, I will just comment on this, is I think you guys are just doing it perfectly, and I love it. But can you just, in just a minute, chat, just comment on that group of seniors that you guys have saying goodbye?
Well, when I came in last year, they were all juniors, so they got an early taste of me, and we didn't have that many seniors last year, so it was a growing process. Being in a school system all year last year, a lot of them coming into my room just to say hello, shoot the bull before a class, or them going to lunch and hanging out and being around each other for the whole summer, and that we had to feel each other out, and I think they had to understand that as gruff and as rough as a lot of people portray me to be, I'm just a man. I'm just a dude. I'm just a guy. I love the game of football. I love those guys, and I told them all, during the season, I love you all like you're my sons, my nephews. You could all stay over, rotating, sleeping in my son's room, hanging out, because he loves them all the same too. But those guys were a bunch of dudes that were together. They were always together. They were trying to pull other people together, trying to pull the team together. And I've never seen, I might have, but I've never, just in the last couple of years, see a group of guys pull a team together and grow as leaders. Like, they never thought the Rootstown game, when Julian just goes absolutely nuts, has a pick, strips to secure our win, and strips to score a touchdown. Been telling them that for 2 years. Just jump. I tell them all the time, just jump the deep end. All you guys, dive into the deep end. With feet first. Just dive in, jump in. You're gonna love it. Just do it. Just come out of your comfort zone and do it. And a lot of them did. A lot of them did it, saw it, understood that, it's okay from snap to whistle to be the meanest dude, toughest, roughest guy. But once that whistle's blown and we're back to the huddle, get your composure. When we win with so much passion, but we act like we've been there before. So these guys showed grew a lot of leadership. Totally, I see them all day, every day now, and they're going to be great husbands, hopefully, great fathers. These guys are dudes that I'm happy that someday, when I'm old and decrepit, Lord willing, I get to that age, and they say, "Hey, Coach Allen, you're coming to the 2046, 23-year reunion of that season," and I'm, 20 years from now, I'll be 73 and probably on a walker, hopefully. And, they let me sit there and they tell stories about me. And I go, "I never said that. Oh, Coach, you remember saying this? Coach, you remember doing that?" I mean, so many memories that we had from Walsh was unbelievable. I hope, and it was one of the biggest things from that group too, was all those older dudes, they took on younger kids as their roommates for those 3 days.
Love it.
So they took on, a senior took on a freshman, a senior took on a sophomore, senior took on it was like, we want to, if we're building this the right way, we're believing in you, coaches. We believe you guys, what you're teaching us. We're listening to everything you're saying. Now we're going to put it to use. We want to be roommates with younger guys. And it was, I mean, Walsh did a great job for us. We can't wait to go back this summer.
That's priceless.
Great group of kids.
Yeah.
Great group of kids, man. It was awesome. You know, 4 guys are getting honored right now with the board for them being all state, and 2 of them are seniors. You know, we got 2 of them coming back. They're going to be next year, going to be a senior and a junior next year. So we got 2 all-staters coming back, and they're just great thing is they're listening. They're humble. Just they've taught me these last 3 years, Matt, have taught me how to be a better coach.
I love it.
If there's any programs that could do it, you know, I was blessed to go to Poland with Coach Pav, you know, coach against Coach Pav, his brother, who's now, you know, retired from Canfield, and be friends with them and rub elbows. But that started it. That started the rebirth. And these last 2 years at Ridge have just grown me. I've never been happier. Never been. That's it. I mean, there's no other words. Happier. They let me do what I could do. They've taught me how to be better with people. I don't have that, you know, disgruntled feeling in my body like I used to.
Right.
And worry about what's going on. This community is amazing, awesome. Everybody's for everybody, and you know what? That's what it took me to learn that. I was kind of jaded. I was kind of guarded. These people want to help me. Heck yeah, please help me. Help me. And they've taught me so much. These kids have taught me. These people. Just let me. Just don't go on my past. That's what I'm getting away from. Don't go for what my past is. Go for what you're seeing now. Embrace this one and grow me this better, Coach Allen, than you know what my past was, because it is a was. We're not going back there. Not going to be that guy. Not going to be disgruntled and because when it's that time happens, then it's okay. It's time to sit up in the stand and be quiet.
I got you.
I don't see that for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you know what, and we're gonna jump real quick because we're getting close to a break here. I also, we're gonna see some of these seniors that are graduating play at the next level.
Boy, that'd be great.
I do believe it. Like Ian Erb, and I truly want to see that kid in a Penguin uniform. And trust me, I've been doing what I can.
Wow, that would be
awesome. honor. They would be honored to have Ian Erb wearing the black, the red, and the white. And we'll see. I've been being very loud and vocal at that school recently. Just mentioning one, and this is not taking away from any other player. There's a ton of guys coming up, but a junior going to be a senior next year. Watch out for BB9. That's my moniker for Brady Ballestrino. His number BB9 is going to be something special. Let's jump real quick before the break. The college football playoff, number 1 Michigan versus number 4 Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Who you got?
I mean, this one's a hard game. I mean, if you don't know this about me already, I'm a Michigan fan. I've been a Michigan fan since like I was maybe 8. So I've been through the good, bad, and the ugly with them, and maybe that's where I've learned my humility.
Right.
It's just, I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle. I'm rooting for the maize and blue, and I hope they do it, because a lot of people, they're putting a lot of roadblocks in front of them, and they seem to be answering the call. They seem to be focused. Everything that they're saying, they're focused on them. They're focused on what they had to be, and that's the Michigan mantra. You're just focused. You're doing one thing at a time. And I'm taking nothing away from Coach Saban and Alabama, because they are the ultimate. Everybody's shooting for it, and that's how he loves it. That's how I think we coach a lot of our ways. How he does it, meticulous with details, and do exactly what your coach should do, and everything should work out. Don't worry about anything else. So It's like Rocky, 2 with these guys.
Right. Well,
so I'm pulling for Michigan. I mean, just how it is. But I would not be upset if Alabama beats us.
You know, I'm just going to say this real quick, and we'll jump to just the pick real fast, and we have to go. Eric Wolford, ex-Ursuline teammate of mine, is the head offensive line coach at Alabama. So that's what I'm pulling for him. But I'm going to be honest with you: most balanced football team in the country, and this is coming from an Ohio State / Notre Dame fan. Most balanced team in the country is Michigan. I will not be surprised if Michigan wins. I am giving a little bit of an edge, but I won't be surprised if Michigan wins. Jumping real quick, just the pick, number 2 Washington versus number 3 Texas in the Sugar Bowl. Who do you got?
Washington.
All right. And then finally, what we're going to do here for the national championship, who you got winning it all?
U of M, baby. Go blue.
All right. Well, Chet Allen, thank you so much for calling in. It was an honor, sir, as always. Go Rams.
Go Rams.
All right. Have a good night. We'll be right back, everybody, with another guest. This is Just Football with Matt Emch. I'm your host. We'll be right back, everybody.
Are you tired of settling for mediocre wings at sky-high prices? Belleria Niles has some of the best wing prices in Trumbull County, with 12 wings for $10 with over 15 flavors to choose from. Mention this show, Just Football with Matt Emch, with your order and receive a free cheese puff until January 31st. Belleria at 602 Robbins Avenue, Niles, Ohio. 330-544-FOOD. That's 330-544-FOOD. Belleria, we sell taste one bite at a time.
Do you crave mysteries? Are you fascinated by the unexplained? Then summon your courage and plunge into the deep, dark abyss of what lurks beneath. A YouTube channel that dives into the unexplained, the supernatural, eyewitness reports, and more. The real question is, can you handle the truth? Simply search What Lurks Beneath on YouTube, if you think you're brave enough.
In the Valley, football is king, and the Mahoning Valley Federals are looking to build the 2024 roster with talent forged in this area to compete for a Tri-Point Football League championship. If you're 18 and older and looking to return to the gridiron, call General Manager John Galbraith at 330-540-1099 or visit the team on Facebook at Mahoning Valley Federals Developmental Football. The Mahoning Valley Federals, honoring the football tradition in the Valley. From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
And welcome back to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. We're going to go right back to the lines. We have a special guest today, a very, very close old friend of mine, somebody that was involved in sports and football coaching in the area. We have Eric Ungaro on the phone. How you doing, Big E?
Big Matt Emch. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you for being here tonight, man. It's an honor as always. First of all, before we start talking football, how's the family doing?
Everybody's good, man. You know how it is. It's a grind, and as you've been through it, and you just appreciate every moment, man, and every day and every holiday, and you put your head down and just keep plugging away.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Well, please do me a favor. Tell everybody I send my love, everybody from the Emch family to the Ungaro family, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you.
And vice versa. You know that.
Absolutely. We're going to jump in. I miss you coaching, man.
It's the only thing I ever loved. I loved it. Times have changed a little bit. You get older, you got different things going on, but I had a nice run and I enjoyed it, being a defensive coordinator with Angle and being in the city, and I don't have any regrets, man. No regrets.
Well, why don't you real quick, just so for anybody that doesn't know right now, why don't you just real quick let us know what you're up to these days?
I was a longtime special ed teacher and varsity defensive coordinator. Started at South High School with Ron Demesco. South closed, went to Wilson with McClendon, and through that time, I coached with a lot of good guys. And then Coach Engel went to Howland, and he brought me over to run the defense in 2000, and we had a nice run for about 20 years. So I'm out of teaching and things right now, and out of coaching. I'm a trustee in Poland, and as you know, I mean, you were like a brother to my brother.
Yeah.
He overdosed in 2012, so I've been really involved with mental health. I'm president of the mental health of the Mahoney County Mental Health Board, and I just try to help out and just mentor some young kids and even people that are struggling with addiction and things of that nature.
Well, I miss my brother every day. I have a picture in my house, and you know how close him and I were.
Yeah.
We
brothers from another mother's, man.
yes,
That's for sure.
yeah, and the love that I have for your family is just there aren't the words to speak it. So, we don't need to delve any deeper into that, but that was my dog, and he always will be, and I know we'll see him again as well as your father. That was just such an incredible man.
This is yours.
Thank you. Now, have you given any thought at all, about jumping back into coaching sometime?
Yeah, no, I've had a lot of, a lot of opportunity, a lot of offers. I mean, even this year, I ended up retiring from school. I was going to help Coach Jones out, but I just, once you get away and you're in Poland and you're not driving to Howland, I've had offers to run defenses. You can go back as far as when Coach Reardon first got the job, and I just, and people don't understand, man. It's a commitment. Like, you want to do it right, and coaches today, especially with the way parents are, it's brutal, man. And you're there, you're putting time in. I know technology has gotten better, and you can watch film at home and all this stuff, but the successful coaches and staffs, they're in there in their kids' faces and getting that attitude and getting the game plan down, and it's a lot. It's a big commitment. So I miss it every day, but. I can't unless things like if my man Kurt Kuntz got like a head job somewhere, I might consider jumping back in and running his defense or something. But that's probably about the extent of it.
I got you. Well, I hope you do, and I love Kurt. Kurt and I are good friends too. He was the defensive back coach at the Miami Dolphins for a few years there. He knows his stuff. Struthers High School doing great with the Bakes there.
Bakes, my man.
Yes,
God bless him. Yeah,
me too.
Step down. We've had many wars with the past through the years. He had a great run there at Canfield. Obviously, he's going to be missed in the area.
Yes.
This is just it's just a phenomenal area, and just great relationships, man. Just years of camaraderie. Even if you battle and you can't stand each other, 2 hours, there's nothing but respect. Nothing but respect out there for sure.
Absolutely. And obviously, you were in the middle of taking care of, you were working. So, we got a, like 2.5, 2:45 left. But I want to ask you first real quick, please come back next week. We have a lot of talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to talk college now. That's my
for
baby.
sure.
I like talking.
And that's what we're going to jump on real quick before we run out of time. Just like we were talking before the break, talking about the playoff here. We have number 1 Michigan versus number 4 Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Oh, just so happens the head offensive line coach for Alabama, Eric Wolford, we both know very well.
Wolford,
Yeah. So who do you got in that game?
Oh, Bama. I mean, listen, man. And I hate saying this, and obviously being a defensive coordinator at 19 years old, back when Bama beat Miami, I've always been an Alabama and a Bears fan just based off their defense. Now, they stunk for a lot of years, but like recently, obviously, Bama's had a lot of success. And, anybody who thinks that you're going to go play a schedule in the SEC week in and week out and get pounded, even their bad teams are good, man. I just think Michigan, I could be totally wrong because one game, again, anything can happen. Turnovers, penalties, you know how it rolls. Special teams. I just think Bama is way more battle tested than Michigan. And I think what hurts Michigan, they go into the Big Ten championship. That was like playing a JV team.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa doesn't even count, man.
No, I agree.
I don't know. I got Bama. I got Bama there, and I really got a lot of respect for Washington, man. I believe. They grinded. They played they playing Oregon twice, man, is tough.
Yep.
I mean, Oregon's no chumps now. So if I had to pick it, I got Bama beating Washington, and my little DraftKings pick the exact happenings. That's what I think's gonna happen, and I think they're the two most battle-tested teams.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised, as I said already, if Michigan, as balanced as they are, can pull out a win against Alabama. But I also think that they are going to be winning that game. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas goes. They knocked off Alabama. Eric, we're going to get going. Thank you for calling in.
But my man.
I want you here next week, brother.
Give me a text.
I will.
Text next week. I just had a meeting tonight. I couldn't come in till late.
All right, brother. Thanks for being here. We'll see you later.
God bless you.
God bless. That was Eric Ungaro. Thank you for being here, everybody. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
The Storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you? What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Experience nature's bounty with Creation's Backyard. Elevate your health with the most nutrient-dense foods on earth. From farm to table, sustainably cultivated with care. Grown locally in Niles, Ohio with no chemicals or synthetics ever. Unlock your culinary creativity with Creation Backyard Microgreens. Convenient local delivery and pickup options available. Order now at creationsbackyard.com or call 330-282-7208.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Each year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many will be serious. The majority of falls happen at home, so remove things that could make you trip and install handrails to keep you steady. To learn more about the steps you can take to help prevent a fall, please talk to your doctor. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Mill Creek Golf Course is the host venue for the AJGA PGA Hope Program, 8 high school teams, and 2 collegiate teams. Mill Creek Golf Course is your Callaway certified golf club fitting facility. It was named the PGA of America's National Merchandiser of the Year for a public facility 2022. Book your tee time at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Miss an episode of By All Means, and you could miss a lot.
That was also a big draw when Major League Baseball talked to us about this concept and if we would be interested in moving into this league was the vision that we'd have State College, Williamsport, West Virginia, all three really strong.
By All Means, Tuesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio and streaming live on westernreserveradio.com.
I just knew what Ambassador Rooney, as I later started to call him, the later part of his life, after he had been a commissioner, been ambassador to Ireland under President Obama. But anyway, he was made the chairman, and as the old folks say, he bought what he sold. Because in 206, when he had an opening there at the Steelers, and all of the free world thought that either he was going to hire Ken Wisenhunt as offensive coordinator, or Russ Graham, one of the